Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Morning Gaming Watch Drop, episode 6.
Is it episode 6?
Yeah, it's episode 6, man. Whew. Thanks for joining us, guys. It's Robert. This is Dom, and we will be going over, as you can see by the thumbnail, hence the reason why you probably clicked on this video, our reacts to the Star Wars Episode 8 trailer. I'm stoked, dude. Obviously, this came out when it was a celebration, the 40th year anniversary of Star Wars. We got to see Star Wars Episode 8. We got to see Battlefront 2, which you guys will be able to see that part 3 of this episode, which if you're watching this now, it hasn't come out yet, but if you're in the future, it's already out, so go check that out. Anyways, yeah, man.
I'm freaking excited.
I'm so stoked for this. So I'm going to be playing it right here. I'm not going to be putting it up anywhere. I just want to avoid copyright
issues.
So yeah.
Please don't sue us.
Yeah. So first of all,
yes.
The moment that I saw that this trailer came up, I was sitting down on my couch, saw the Star Wars Celebration was going on, flipped open my phone, checked it out live, and they were like, everyone was just yelling for the trailer, and then who is it? Who's the director? Ryan Johnson? Yeah. He was like, and y'all know we will not leave this off without a trailer. They showed the trailer. Everyone was going berserk. I froze in my seat and just watched the entire thing. So we're going to, I'm just going to have it playing right here. I'm going to be listening just in case I stop in regards to certain keywords. But yeah, so here it goes. It's going. So obviously it opens up. You know, I think I can show the video without, oh no, never mind. It's going to be too much work.
Without audio?
Well, I'm going to be pausing it, so it's going to be too much work for me to pause it and play it. Obviously, it starts off, Rey, like, heavy breathing. It reminds me so much of Star Wars Episode 7 trailer, when it's like that click, and then Finn comes up.
Yeah.
And the same thing right here, but with Rey.
Have you seen this? They've
Side by side?
Yeah, they've seen this side by side.
Yeah. It's really, really cool. It's really, really cool.
It's like this is going to be like her story more focused on Luke and her.
So what do you think happened in that moment?
I feel like she went through some sort of trial, because I mean, like, think about it. She's got the Jedi potential, right? She's force sensitive. She went and sought out Luke. She's probably like trying to prove her worthiness. If you remember when Luke was going through his training, he went into a cave, kind of the same way, had to face his fears. His fear was what he perceived to be Vader, but it was actually himself.
Yeah.
He feared himself the most, right? And I feel like maybe something like that had happened to her.
You think that she was kind of in some sort of like vision, like
Some
different
sort of
state?
trance, yeah, or like she found something that she didn't really want to find inside that cave, and that might have to tie in with later into the trailer, that like where she's touching the stone tablet with like the
Jedi symbol.
The Jedi symbol, yes. And then also, the scenes are heavily focused on them. I don't know too much. The scene where you see the ships flying down, like that is completely out of context for everything. But all the scenes that we've seen so far in here are either like, you know, space battles, or like, you know, her kind of meditating. You know, you can see the rocks like floating because she's got, you know, she's using the Force. So maybe something like that. Like it just like kind of broke her attention. Something happened. She just thought of something. Had a flashback.
Okay.
And she just like, you know, heavy breathing, freaked out.
So yeah, I agree with you. I think it could have been that she was in some sort of different state of mind, experiencing something. I think that's what it could have been. It can also be that there was some sort of disturbance in the Force as well that's causing her to be that way. I mean, that's a possibility. I don't think that's likely. Just throwing that idea out.
Yeah, that's a good one. Like maybe Finn woke up and she felt it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Lucasfilm logo, and then there's a moment where, there's a moment where you hear Luke speak for the first time in over decades and decades since Star Wars Episode 6. This is the first time you hear him speak, because he didn't speak at all in Star Wars Episode 7. And the first words that we hear him speak is breathe. And what I love about that moment so much is obviously he's speaking to Rey. But in that moment, I felt like he was speaking to me too. Because when I was watching the trailer, like...
You're holding your breath.
Yeah, you're just holding your breath. And it's like him reminding you that, hey, just take a breath, dude.
Just breathe.
Take a breath.
Yeah.
Take this all in. And then he repeats himself again. He's like, just breathe. I'm like, yes, master. But yeah, dude, it's... oh, man. It's so good. So another thing about this is Ryan Johnson is getting a lot of wide shots of just areas not a bunch of close-ups, but like shots of the island, overhead shots. Like it's very overly cinematic, very beautiful kind of movie. You know, taking into the fact of just the landscape and everything.
You know, did they say where they're shooting this movie at? I feel like that's something we should look into too.
Yeah, let me see. I felt like they did.
The little aisle that they're on, you know, and they're getting that shot. It's a pretty spectacular looking place.
Star Wars Episode 8 location.
IMDb filming locations.
Oh yeah.
Croatia and
Ireland. A lot of it was shot in Ireland.
Yeah.
Oh, Mexico, Missouri, and USA. That's just about it.
Probably the scenes with the desert. I'd imagine Mexico.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would picture, somewhere there. More than likely, that little island area has to be Ireland.
Yeah, off the coast of Ireland.
Yeah.
Which is cool, because I'm glad it's not like CGI. I'm glad they take the time, like these movies, like, you know, Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, stuff like that. A lot of them take the time to like go there.
Yeah.
And like film on location instead of just doing everything CGI.
Yeah.
Which they could easily have done, you know.
I just totally skipped this moment. So there's a moment where you see Rey standing right there at the edge, looking onto the water.
Mm-hmm.
This reminds me so much of when Luke was standing there at the edge at Dagobah with Yoda, and he was gonna bring up the Type X-wing up from the water. Yeah. I'm thinking to myself, is Rey? How'd she get to? Do you remember how she got there?
Yeah,
was that the Millennium Falcon?
Yeah, the Millennium Falcon.
Okay, I'm wondering, is she picking up the Millennium Falcon the same way that Luke picked up the X-wing?
Could be
in that moment.
But she left. Okay, so Han died, and she left with. I'm pretty sure she left with Chewbacca, right?
Yeah, with Chewie.
So, but did she leave with any of the droids as well?
I think BB-8. No, because you see Poe Dameron running with BB-8.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So I think it was only her and
BB-8
Chewie.
got reunited. Yeah, so yeah, her and Chewie, and Chewie's a longtime old friend of Luke, so he's probably just chilling.
Yeah.
What if he became like Force? What if he was Force sensitive? He picked it up.
What if he's Counselor
Right.
Snoke? But yeah, so seeing beautiful imagery right here. And he asks her, breathe, just breathe, and he says, reach out. And we've seen a very Superman-esque kind of moment where the pebbles are rising up.
If you look at the screen right here, that looks
That's
like
a foot. Exactly.
That's a foot.
Yes. So
somebody's like laying down on the ground.
I'm trying to figure out her body position, because that's her. This is this hand.
Yeah.
Either she's picking herself up,
or maybe there's like a stone or something on somebody, and she's trying to lift it off.
That's a piece of clothing right there, though, right?
Kind of looks like it. But it's a random place for a foot to be, right?
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot. What is that? That looks very lightsaber-ish.
Yeah, it is a lightsaber. Yeah, that's like the lightsaber.
It looks very crooked, though.
Yeah, but it's sideways. See, it's an angle.
Yeah. Interesting.
So there's a lightsaber and a foot that's sideways, like somebody's like laying down.
Yeah. Or it could be someone's like crisscross. I don't know.
Maybe a leg gets cut off.
It could totally not even be a foot. Who knows? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it looks like a foot. It looks like a Tom's shoe. He asks, "What do you see?" Then we get a shot. Very sad, but we see a shot of Leia. Mm-hmm. You only see her back. Pretty sure they did that on purpose, because they want to save that for the movie. Mm-hmm. Pretty sure you're gonna see her, but I think for the sake of her just dying
She's
recently,
all dressed up like a princess.
Exactly. Yeah. And so, very nice shot of her looking out onto the like a command central board of like what's going on. So.
Well, I mean, technically, after all these years, would she still be a princess or would she be a queen?
She goes by a different name now, isn't it? Commander Leia or something like that.
Yeah, or Commander, or would she go by Solo?
No, I don't think she goes by Solo. No.
This is space. They don't take people's last names.
And in that moment when he says, "What do you see?" you hear Rey say, "Light." But when it shows Leia, you can hear Leia's voice from Episode 4, "Help Me, Obi-Wan Kenobi." You hear that voice in the background echoing.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay.
And so it skips from there. When she says light, it shows Kylo Ren's broken mask.
Just like Darth Vader's
Exactly.
burnt mask.
Just surrounded with broken glass on the floor. And then she goes on to say, and darkness. In that moment, though, you can hear Ben Kenobi's voice.
Really?
Talking about the dark side.
You know, and the only thing that throws me off about the mask being there is that the mask was lost on that planet. So, I mean, unless he had another mask forged.
I mean, the Knights of Ren, don't they all have similar masks?
Yeah, but I thought... Weren't the Knights of Ren all Jedi as well, though?
I believe so.
But I figured that they would have been disbanded.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm trying to say is if there's Knights of Ren with all similar masks, I'm pretty sure there's more than one mask.
Yeah,
true. For Kylo.
True.
This trailer goes on, and then you see this tree with a bookshelf on it with like what looks like are books. Mm-hmm. Now I've heard other people talk about it. I totally forgot what they said. I'm not going to go out and say what it is because I'm not going to give it justice. But this obviously looks like these are very important books, and one of them later in the trailer, Rey obviously picks one up. Mm-hmm. And so let me know down in the comments below what you think, what this is actually.
Do you think it's like the written history of Jedi that maybe Luke has collected from old temples?
It could. I mean, it could be from like whatever was left.
Because this, look at you can see now that I've seen this up close. This is binding of a book.
Yeah.
Of Jedi Order symbols.
So do you think this is the original Jedi Council book from like the prequels, and he has some of the last, like he has it still?
Like maybe like their kind of Ten Commandment kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, maybe like the way the Jedi were is not the way that the Jedi originally were, and maybe he wants to take it back to its like roots, to like just like the foundation of what it was.
Yeah.
Instead of like a political part. Basically, I mean, like at one point the Jedi were like almost like a political party or political enforcers for, keeping the good.
Yeah.
So maybe he just doesn't want to do that. Maybe he wants to just be like a part of like the world, but he doesn't think that they should be involved in like things that are have an outcome to the entire world.
Yeah.
Or not world, galaxy.
Well, the moments where she says, "I see light," it showed Kylo Ren's mask. She said dark, it showed the bookshelf, and then she said balance, and it shows the Jedi Council book. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that means anything. Now we get this shot right here, and this is something that everyone's been talking about. I don't know if you've heard them talk about it, but this particular shot, and people have zoomed all the way in, and what looks to be that figure up there, and they zoomed in. I was trying to see if I can find a picture. People are speculating, is that Yoda?
Yoda's dead though, so.
And we will talk about that more so in our
he'd be there in his
discussion.
Like, spirit form, like force form.
Yeah. Unless I will talk about that in the discussions portion. But let me see if I can get a clear image of it. Star Wars episode 8. Ooh, Frank Oz, what did you drop today, Frank Oz?
His recorded audio.
In addition to his work with the Muppets and directing good films, Frank Oz is probably best of all tier Jedi. Those week Oz has been doing press Oz was asked about the rumors. His answer raised more questions than it did provide. What was his answer? I feel like I'm a prisoner at war here, and I can only give you my name, rank, and serial number to be true to the people who ask me, and they are kind of my family. I have to say I've been asked not to talk about it. I love Yoda. I'll be happy to talk about it at any time they let me. He's in it. There's no doubt about it that he's in it.
Yeah, I mean, because he could have. I mean, why give like that kind of thing without? Why didn't he just say no? I think that's Yoda. Maybe, are you sure? Well, maybe it's just a shrine to Yoda. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't.
But they don't really do that in Star Wars, do they?
No, but look at so I mean, if you look at like if you've ever played the old Star Wars games like Knights of the Old Republic and stuff like that, the Valley of the Sith, they have like huge structures of like old past. Like anyway, point being, like that could just be like a statue, right? Like maybe it's just like a thing to Yoda or whatever.
Yeah.
And like maybe like through that like he can like talk to people or talk to Luke through the channeling the Force.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
it
just
could
like
be
a gateway.
Could be. It goes on, It obviously this Christmas is coming out. This part right here, I love this part. Just the imagery of these ships just going across this desert, white desert and red sands being blown up. Beautiful imagery, beautiful color going on. This right here, it shows Finn, what appears to be, and we'll talk about it because you're raising different questions. It shows Finn in this suit. Could he be being healed in this moment? You had something that you think is going to be, which we'll talk about in the second part. Let's keep going. Poe Dameron going with BB-8 right here. Ran down the lane as it's like appears to be exploding. He's trying to get to his ship. It explodes. So, real quick, we're just gonna keep it going. Our final thoughts on this entire trailer. It's a beautiful trailer. It's got me so hyped for this trailer. I love Kylo Ren a lot.
I think he's a great character.
He's fantastic.
I like Adam Driver.
Yeah, and everyone's been giving him a lot of hate. I like him a lot.
Why though?
And because they think he's weak, is not. He has honestly, I think he has more dynamic than Darth Vader himself. And then the last words are Luke Skywalker saying, "The Jedi must end." And what would that mean? We'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, that's our reacts to the Star Wars The Last Jedi trailer, guys. I loved it. It seems beautiful. I'm so stoked for it. Can't wait to see it. But yeah, thanks for joining us here, guys. Stay tuned for the part 2, guys, where we give you all our theories as to what is going on in this movie and what will be our hopes and dreams.
What we're expecting.
Yeah, for sure.
Give us theories on what you're expecting as well, too.
Yeah, stay tuned for the part 2, guys.